I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already lost it. Don't got enough to go cop it. I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money will solve them. No, that don't mean money will solve them. Woke up dreaming of the commas, and I got $100 in my...
All right, welcome back, guys. This is Season 2, Episode 2 of Well Society. We have a special guest today, Mary Hooten. Did I get that right or no?
Yes,
Okay,
you did.
cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about this company, and just something about you.
So I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I have lived overseas twice in my life, so that was really exciting. Frontier Title is probably the best company that I've ever worked for. Actually, when I interviewed almost 3 years ago, I got emotional during the interview because this company is just incredible and really family-oriented. So I am the marketing rep for Frontier Title. It's a lot of fun, but a lot of work. It has its challenges, but I absolutely love it.
Good. Okay, so my first question would be, how did you get into this space? Like, how did you know this is what you were going to be doing?
So I've been in sales my entire career, and I also have a passion for design work. So I was in that for a little bit, but the money just wasn't there. It takes a really long time. So one of my friends in real estate, I guess there was a post on Facebook, and my old working partner was asking for a current working partner, and he thought I'd make a perfect fit. So he reached out to me, and the rest is history.
Cool.
So
when you were, let's say, in high school, college, what were you thinking about during those times? Like, were you thinking about owning a business, or what was going through your mind?
I was thinking about partying and having fun, Eduardo. That's all I thought about. I don't think that at that point I was thinking much about what I was going to do in life. I just
Why?
I don't know, because both of my parents are extremely driven, and they worked really hard. They taught us how to work hard. But I think that I just wanted to go have fun and experience college years just having fun.
No, yeah, that makes sense. No, well, usually, like, when your parents are driven, it's like, oh, well, they got it. You know what I mean? Or, like, you know,
Right. I can wait a little bit. I'm gonna go to college and have fun.
How was that switch for, like, right after college? Like, was it eye-opening? Like, did it hit you hard, or how was it?
I think reality sets in, and you go, wait, I don't have my parents anymore.
Yeah.
I have to actually go out there and make a living for myself. So it was that switch, and obviously a push from my parents and people surrounding me. I think it's so important to surround yourself with really driven, career-oriented people. And I think I started doing that, I guess, about 22, 23. I mean, it took a while.
Yeah.
And then my mindset started changing.
That's good. I mean, you started.
Yeah.
So what did you get into? Like, the first thing you got into right after college?
Well, in college, I was in multifamily housing, and I was just doing part-time leasing. So I loved that. I loved people. That's when I started realizing I love sales, and I love building relationships with people. And then it turned into being the assistant manager, then the manager, and then I became the area manager at the age of 22.
Oh, dang.
So I thought I was really rich. I had a free apartment. I was living in College Station, but it was great being an area manager. So I was managing almost 1,000 units and about a team of 10 people.
Wow.
So
You were just really good with people?
yeah, I think I just like people. That's my passion. My passion is people and helping people.
So the owner saw you were connecting, and you're like, oh my God, she could be a great leader.
Yes. And I still currently talk to old residents, and it's been a really long time. I'm 37 now.
Dang.
And I was 23 then. So I still talk to a lot of those old residents.
And what was your next step after that?
After that, I realized I wanted to move back to Houston to be with my family. And so I got into commercial real estate management.
Oh, wow.
So with that career, I managed 2 20-story buildings at the Arena Towers. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
No, but I can already know that's challenging.
Yeah, it was challenging but fun. Obviously, 2 20-story buildings, it's a lot of people. And then there's also a concert venue there. So that was really cool. The Arena Theater. So a lot of celebrities would come and do concerts there as well. I loved that. And I had a staff of about 15 people.
Oh, wow.
So that was
fun.
Yes, and managing people, I love people. So managing people for me was really easy.
And then tell us a little bit about managing people. How are you so good at it? How'd you learn? And you know what I mean?
I don't know how. I think I started my career in management so early, and I made a lot of mistakes. I think first and foremost, the first mistake I made was becoming friends with my coworkers. Or my employees, you can become friends with them, but to a point, because you have to set that apart. So I made a lot of mistakes at first, but I think the best thing about being a manager is not really being a manager, if that makes sense. I think you have to put yourself on their level and do the job that they're doing. I think that's the one thing as a manager I think I did really well, and having passion and compassion for people. You have to be there for them. It's honestly kind of like being a therapist. Yeah.
So you really gotta have like emotional intelligence.
Yes, absolutely. And maturity. Again, I started so young, so I had to really grow in that emotional maturity. But dealing with so many different personalities obviously has its challenges. So having a lot of empathy as well. People think as a manager you have to be just very direct and forward, and you can have that, but you also have to have a side of you that is compassionate and empathetic, and you have to care about people.
So from a very young age, you kind of figured all that stuff out. You were like, okay, well, I have to act like this. I have to be like this. And you're just, from a young age, you got it.
Yeah, I think from a young age, I knew that I wanted to help people in general. That was always something that I had in my heart and in my soul. And so I think I took that and being caring and transitioned that into being a manager. So I think it started really young.
It's awesome. And then after the two 220-story buildings?
Yeah, 220-story buildings.
Oh, what did you do after that?
I was in oil and gas service sales for 5 years. It was very boring.
Yeah.
I was selling at first a water filtration system for offshore applications, and it was awful. I did not like it. It was really just taking people to lunch. I didn't know anything about what I was even selling. It was just about being a people person. But it was great. It was a great career. It was awesome.
And after that?
I did design work.
Oh, wow. A little bit of everything. You're trying everything, huh?
I know. I just love to hop around. Yeah. Design work is my true passion. So I did that for a couple of years. And the money, everything isn't about money, but it also is about money. And I guess it just wasn't. It wasn't there for me. I felt like I wanted something bigger and better.
Makes sense.
So.
No, yeah. And then after that?
Yeah. That's when I started at Frontier. And I will tell you, it took me 35 years, almost 35 years to sit down in an interview and have that feeling of, wow, I finally figured out what my career is. I finally figured out what I want to do. And I didn't even really know what this job was all about, but it was the people. It was interviewing with my boss. She was incredible.
Wow.
She told me specifically, it's family first. We are about family, and that's what matters the most to us.
Oh, dang.
And that just made me light up. I loved everybody at the company.
This is where I'm supposed to be at.
Yes,
right?
You are.
Yeah.
Oh, you are. No, yes, I am. Yeah, I just had that instant feeling of this is what I was looking for my entire life. I wish it would have happened for me earlier.
And what'd you start off doing at Frontier?
I'm a business development manager. So I was out trying to get business. I did start February 17th of 2020. So my luck is not the greatest because then a month later, COVID hit.
Cough, cough. Right?
So, yeah.
And like, tell us a little bit about Frontier. Like, what exactly is, like, in layman terms? Because I'm even struggling to understand, what exactly do y'all do?
So when you purchase your first home, which I know is going to be very soon because you're awesome.
Thank you.
You have to have a title company that's going to insure that home. So we are that company for you. So realtors send us their clients and we insure that home policy.
So basically, like, you protect, like, you make sure that title is that person's?
Yes.
And is it usually through, is it usually commercial buildings, or like, what is it?
No, we do mainly residential, but we do commercial as well. We also have a commercial real estate, or not real estate. We have a commercial escrow officer that travels around Texas.
And is it through the bank, or like, just anything you do through the bank? No, right?
No.
Yeah, because the bank is separate, right?
Just whenever we fund it, that goes through the bank. And that's the best part of a transaction, is when everyone gets funded.
So after doing all this, 2 years it's been, right? About 2 years?
Almost 3 years in February.
3 years. Okay. What's like the biggest thing that you've learned just being here, being a part of this?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is I don't think I really genuinely knew what sales was, even though I've done that my entire career. This business is a completely different ballgame. Yeah. And it's so important to, first of all, wake up and grind and hustle every single day. Because if you're not doing things today for tomorrow, you're not going to be successful in this business. So I think that I've genuinely learned that, and I'm still learning consistency. It's not easy as humans. It's hard to be consistent.
Well, you want to chill one day, you can't chill.
Yeah, there's no chilling.
No procrastinating.
It's hustle and grind. You have to. And I think too, I've learned, I know I'm a people person, but this is genuine relationship building.
Yeah.
It's about making friends, which is what I love to do the most. And because I love helping people, I get to do that every single day with real estate agents to help their business.
I love that. Where do you draw the line from like helping too much to helping? Like, because sometimes we like to help a lot of people and we get taken advantage of, right?
That's a good question.
So where do you draw the line?
Next year, my word is no, because I'm a yes person.
Yeah.
So I think I've learned that as well. I think it's taken probably this year being at this office by myself because I was in the Galleria with a working partner.
You told me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think understanding who is genuinely wanting my help or who might be taking advantage. And then you just have to draw the line.
So you can just tell.
Yeah, and I want to work with people that want to work with us. That's really important. And I think that most people feel the exact same way. So
give me a day in the life of Mary. What are you doing as soon as you get in the office?
Well, I wake up, I just chill at home, and no, I wake up, get my son on the bus. I'm a mom of an 11-year-old boy, and I start my days about 6 a.m. I'd love to start at 5 a.m. I'm working on that.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
I start my day at 6 too. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. I have time for myself, get my son on the bus, and then I'm getting ready. I typically am already on my phone making phone calls, checking emails, texting agents. And one day I can have 50 text messages and a lot of group texts as well. But I love it. It's great. So I'm typically doing that in the morning and doing my reach outs. And then every single day I have an appointment. So, and I'm especially working on this next year. I plan my year for my month, for my week, for my day.
Wow.
And you have to do that in order to be successful.
That's crazy.
So I know I'm usually booked 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So I know what my day is.
Like meetings and appointments?
Meetings, appointments, pop-bys, things that I have to do at the office.
That is a lot, huh?
Yeah.
What happens if you're sick? It just rolls over to the next day?
It's a lot and can be extremely overwhelming. But I think it's all about balance and structure. I think you have to have structure in order to be successful.
A system in place, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And what happens if you're sick? Like one day you really cannot come.
I'm not sick, Eduardo, ever.
What if you have a cough?
I don't really get sick a lot, and if I have been sick,
yeah,
I keep working, and I'm working on that too. You should not work whenever you're sick. But everyone here, there's an amazing team here.
Okay.
Not only at this office, they're
Gallery.
Incredible. No, entire Frontier as a whole. If I had to be out for an entire month, I have backup. And everyone here knows how to do my job, which is very rare.
Cool.
Yeah, it's rare to have an office with escrow and marketing and even the entire team back there that can work hand in hand. It's extremely rare, so I'm blessed.
Really cool. And take us through like, what's your dream client? How do you make that sale? How do you approach that?
I think my dream client and the perfect client is somebody that's my friend first and foremost. Obviously, there's a little bit of a balance there and maybe a line, but not too much. This is all about making friends and lifelong friends.
Yeah.
So a dream client is somebody that is my friend and somebody that wants to depend on me because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help my clients.
And how do you go about, let's say, somebody you've never like met before who's interested in this and your services? How do you approach that? Like, what do you find? How do you outreach? Where do you find all the people to sell to? So
we have a lot of programs and systems in place where we can do that. And I target market. There's a market here in Memorial with a ton of brokerages. And it starts from the very beginning. You have to go cold call and go to that office and get through to the gatekeeper and reach out and talk to people. I actually had a call yesterday with a new agent at a brokerage around here. And it's always a really good start, setting up an appointment on a phone call. And we talked for almost 30 minutes and really connected. And in that moment, I then scheduled our next appointment so that we can meet face to face.
So most of your meetings are calls and then meet face to face?
Most of them, I wouldn't say most of them, it's all over the place. I think phone calls are crucial. You have to make those phone calls. but it's reaching out. I use social media a lot as a
reach
tool.
out. Oh,
I
wow.
do, because people seem to be more on social media nowadays than they might be on their phones on social media, but it's taken over. So reaching out on Instagram, I think it's also more personal. People can see what I look like, what I do,
Yeah.
and they can kind of get a grasp for who I am. So I think it's a lot more friendly that way as well.
So most of your outreach is through Instagram or Facebook, or which one?
Instagram, probably Instagram and Facebook. I think it's probably equal.
Yeah, right.
Because I cater to what specific agent likes what platform. There's a lot of agents that like Instagram, but
a lot of
like
agents that like Facebook.
Yeah.
There's a lot that are on Facebook, huh?
Yeah. The other thing that's great is that you can see when people read your message.
Oh yeah.
So people feel more forced to respond, you know?
Yeah, they feel more obligated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just the red.
Yes,
They
exactly.
gotta respond.
And people feel bad. Some people don't, but some people feel bad if they don't respond because they know they read my message.
What's something that you value that other people don't?
Oh gosh, that's a really great question.
Some values
I don't know.
some values that you value. Like it's never gonna change, and like.
I think that a lot of people value this, but I think a lot of people also don't, and they don't care. I think I value my character a lot. And that's kind of how I choose my friends and the people I work with and the people surrounding me.
Usually a lot of people change up their character and are swayed by it.
Yeah.
That's something you don't change?
No, I don't. Or change who they are. I am who I am. If you don't like me.
So be it.
Yeah. I don't, I want people to like me, but if they don't, it is what it is.
Yeah. I heard something is like, if everybody likes you, that means you don't like yourself.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
So you're always trying to fit in, you're trying to be that different person.
Exactly. And be a yes person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's something that you've learned about yourself in the last few months?
I think that I've learned that I'm a lot more confident than I feel like I am. And I love myself a lot more than I thought I did. I love who I am. I'm not perfectly confident. Nobody is in life.
Yeah.
But I love who I am. I love what I stand for. And I love what I bring to the table.
I love that. And to get into more of the business side of things, so for Frontier Title, right? What is y'all's like projected revenue? Who's in charge of all that? Do y'all have a team behind that? I'm guessing, obviously.
So in any type of sales role I've ever been in, companies are very, very focused on production. They have to be because that's how they make money. Fortunately enough, it's another reason I love Frontier. They don't really pressure us with numbers. We don't have to have, this year-long, but I don't have to create the budget for the year and the projection for the year. They do that for us. So we have goals. Like I said, there's not a lot of pressure. This specific office, I jumped in when it was just not doing very well. Which was a challenge. I seem to like to do that in my life, take on challenges where there's nothing and
bring on the
something.
problems. Right?
Yes, so give them all to me. I've done that my entire career.
Y'all have like goals, like set numbers that y'all are trying to reach?
So we do have goals and set numbers. I don't think that it's as much of a focus at Frontier, which again, I think it puts everyone at Frontier at ease. But for this office specifically, we do have goals. I think it's so important to have monthly goals because then you can strive towards those. And they have to be within reason. You can't have goals that are way above what's actually going to happen, right? Because then you're disappointed.
Yeah.
So we do create goals every single month. And then when you reach them, you get to cheer and high five and have fun. Yeah.
And what's the biggest thing that like the most important thing when handling an employee, how do you talk to them? Like, because I know you said you draw a line to where it's a friend and it can't be a friend, right? So what's the most important thing? How do you handle situations?
I think it's all about that emotional maturity and giving people enough grace, but also being stern enough to let them know what they're doing wrong. Or how they can improve. It's not easy to work every single day and hustle every single day. I don't think it's humanly possible to
We're not computers, right?
Right. And so I think for me, when I have to have hard conversations with employees and we don't call them employees here, but it's hard. It's never even, I'm 37 and it never gets easier, but I look at it as a way I'm helping them. I'm helping them grow. We have younger people here. And it's a way to run through all those mistakes that I did when I was younger and give them that advice that I would have wanted to be given when I was younger.
And how do you, and let's say there's a situation where someone thinks Like, have you ever had that situation where someone thinks they're above you, or they're like, oh, this company needs me? Have you ever had that type of situation?
I have many times
And how
in
do you
my
handle that?
career. I honestly, I feel sorry for them. That's really it. I think that's it. There's always going to be people in life, whether it's your job
Yeah.
or your daily life, that feel like they're above you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to focus on being thankful that it doesn't matter what position you are at, any company or anywhere. I always feel like I'm on the same level as everybody else. And I think it's so important to have that.
And what's the most important thing in business to you? Like, what's the most important thing? Is it networking, relationships?
I think in a sales position, or if you're trying to grow a business, networking is extremely crucial.
Yeah.
Because you never know at what point that person will have somebody ask them about your business,
Yeah.
or,
Word of mouth.
other businesses. Yeah, word of mouth. I think referrals are huge. The most important thing in business, I think, is just staying true to yourself. Staying true to yourself and staying on your path.
Mm-hmm.
And helping others around you. I know I talk about helping a lot, but I think if we're giving and pouring into people, it's always going to come back to us.
You invest in people, and
Yes.
it'll come back tenfold, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One question that I had in mind.
Yeah.
How do you handle all this like pressure? Like, do you just keep going, hustle? Is there a break ever for you, or?
I have a lot of panic attacks. So I'm kidding.
I thought you've been for. I was like, okay.
I am teaching myself to breathe, and also using the word no. No is extremely
That's hard for me.
Me as well, but it's an extremely important word. And I think that in my mind, and a lot of people, it's if you say no, you're being selfish.
Yeah.
But you have to take care of yourself before you take care of everybody
Others,
else.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're just like, okay, well, I got to take care of myself first, and then I'll be able to say yes.
Right, because what I've tended to do in my life is pile all these things on with work, outside things, family, friends, and I'm saying yes to everybody. And I think that learning that balance, and I'm still a work in progress. That's why next year my word is no. You have to take time for yourself. You have to have a healthy home life and work balance. So I think it's really mastering that, and do it at a young age. As someone that's 37, start young, start learning to say no, start putting your priorities first and yourself first.
Yeah, well, most of my audience is like around that 18 to 28 range. So what advice would you give them? I know that's good advice right there, but what advice would you give them if they're trying to start a company, or they're just entrepreneurs, or what would you say is the most important thing?
If I could go back and do it all over again, which I would not because I love my life, I would say to start becoming self-aware at a young age and really thinking about what you want to do in your future. And it doesn't mean that you're taking away from having fun and enjoying life, but I think being self-aware enough and knowing what you want to do and putting that as a priority, I would go back and probably do a lot of things differently. I'd party less, first of all. But I would really, again, I think it's all about, I would have focused more on myself rather than everybody else. So really, if you're young, even if you are selfish, focus on yourself and try different things. I think that especially my generation, job hopping all the time was awful. And yes, you don't want to go have a job for 6 months and then get another one and another one and another one. But it's okay to have a job in my opinion, for a year and say, I don't want to do this. It's not really my thing. I also think use your network when you're young. It's crucial to use your network and utilize social media if you're looking for something specific. Use your network and power with that. A network is extremely powerful.
How important, do y'all get most of y'all sales through social media, or where's most of y'all sales coming from? Word of mouth?
A lot of I would say, because we're not a huge company. We're big, but we're not like one of those name title companies. I think it's not just marketing. I have to be out there in front of people and get business, but it's also having great escrow officers. So we have agents that we're getting business from and agents on the other side. So the escrow officers, and we have the best at this office at Memorial, they have to be good at what they do. And a lot of times they're gaining that business on the other side. So I'd say it's word of mouth as well. And then in us being in those brokerages, teaching classes, showing our value.
And I see the classes that you do on social media. It's what is it? The little bowls, and you put the food on there. Whose idea was that? Was yours?
The CE classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then social media classes as well.
Whose idea was that?
So when I started at Frontier, that's just what we do. So agents have to have continuing education courses. They have to have a certain amount of hours in order to continue renewing their license. So we provide CE classes, and we do it at our office. If they come to the office, they meet me, they meet the team, and they get familiarized with Frontier Title. And then after that, it's a warm lead. I can follow up with them because they've met me. They know about Frontier. I'm providing them value by hosting these classes here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And there's that one class that you do where it's what is it? It's like the food plate and everything. And
charcuterie classes.
there you go.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yes.
Is that your idea? Or whose idea was it?
I'd say 3 years ago. I guess I don't know when charcuterie became popular.
Yeah, I don't even.
But it started becoming this thing, you know. And I started dabbling in it, and I was like, I'm kind of good at this, I think.
Oh, because it's design, right?
I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I started doing it, and I kept practicing. I got better and better and better. And so I've done huge grazed tables. And
how do you get people to come to those? Like, hey, I'll teach you how to do this. Like, how do you get people to be interested in charcuterie?
Yeah. So I don't remember the first class. That's a good thing to go back and look. I was like, I can incorporate this in my everyday life as a marketing rep. And it's a good way to get agents in front of me because who doesn't want to learn how to make a charcuterie board? Everyone does, especially right now. So I use our database to get people to come. And I've also reached out to brokerages like the event planners and say, hey, I want to host a charcuterie class. Doing themes has also been helpful. So like I've done one for Thanksgiving. I'm doing one for Christmas next month. So it's been a great.
Like you said, use your resources and network, right?
Yeah. And I think using your skills in life as well, for me personally, as a marketing rep and title, it brings fun as well, not just so serious, not everything about title. And it gets me in front of really, really great agents. And they're seeing my personality and we're having fun. So it's been
that's awesome,
incredible for the business.
And one last thing to finish this off, what's something that you want to tell somebody to help them? Because I know like people need to listen to people who are actually doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's something that you would tell, whether it's an entrepreneur or not an entrepreneur, just something? What would you tell them?
I think everyone says it's so cliche, don't take life for granted. I think that I have in many moments. I've blinked. I know that's also cliche to say. But if you can wake up every day, and I've done that lately for the past 2 years, every single day, I'm mindful of every day and what I'm doing and who I'm hanging out with and my son and valuing people. I think it would be not to take life for granted because
love that.
I blinked and I'm 37. I feel like just yesterday I was 20.
So time just flies.
Yes, so you're going to blink. Yeah, I think start young. And I think when I look back at 20, I wasn't really that driven.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
You're
partying. Yeah. So, and it's okay to have fun and do all those young things. Still have fun in life.
Yeah.
But take a little bit of time every single week to focus on what you want to do for your future and save money. You have to save money. I also think a lot of millionaires started out with nothing and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think, and I think even when I was young, and I loved everyone around me, but they're like, well, Mary, that's not realistic. You can't do that. Don't listen to those people, even if it's your family and people that you love. You genuinely, I know it's also cliche, you can do whatever you set your mind to. There are resources out there as well, and people that are willing to invest in you.
Yeah.
So
much opportunity, right?
Yeah.
People are just like they have this little blinders on. They can't see opportunity because they're just boom.
Right. Also start investing your money. If you can get to a place where you can buy houses in real estate.
Oh yeah.
Buy houses. Rent them out, have that residual income, by the time you're 50. That would be incredible.
That's amazing.
Still my goal.
Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all the information that you've given. Is there anything else you want to say, or that caps it off?
I do. Don't forget that when you're 30 and a millionaire, that you don't forget about me. I want a piece of that pie.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Peace.